Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Happy Saturday, one and all. October the 1st. Gosh, I tell you, I'm so glad to be so what do you call it? Done with September. September to remember. Gosh, it's bad when it rhymes. Stuff ain't no good if it got a rhyme to it. But a September to remember. Although it is many parts of it I'd rather forget. I'd rather just move on and forget about it. It just seemed like we were never going to get out of September, right? Like it was just going to drag on and on. Well, congratulations again, squatties, for the $60,000 for the Centabale charity fundraiser. That was quite impressive. 60,000 K. You guys did it. 60,000. So, of course, this is an old screenshot. This was 2 hours before the end of it. But at the end, and during the Royal Sussex of all times, I'm very honored that it was during Royal Sussex. But at the end, you guys really came through. So, bravo for that. Let's see who's here today. Miranda Rios, Church Nelly, Miss D. Bernard, Tina Hodges, Marcy Foreman, Janice Goodrich, Etney Green, Dorothy Ross, Diane Hawkins, Myrno, Mary H., Susie Q, Berta Sanchez, Rick, Eleanor Peterson. You know what I forgot? Hello, Anita Alpia. I forgot the troll spray. Let me do it while I'm thinking about it. I forgot the troll spray. At least I think I did. Let me double check. Maybe I did not forget. But better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Amen, Andy Bennett. Better to have it and not need it. I did not use the troll spray. I think we're going to go back a week. So if you have subscribed as recently as a week ago, you may not be able to participate in the conversation, but it is necessary because the trolls are just an unnecessary headache that nobody wants. So we're going to go back 1 week. Okay, so I done that. And just for good measure, let's do the chat at a 30-second delay. Just in case, although I don't think we'll have that many people today. Because this is like one of the last beautiful days of the year. So I hope more people are outside doing stuff than inside. But if you guys do happen to find yourself here on Royal Sussex, it is greatly appreciated. All right, so troll spray is engaged and we are ready to go. Oh, that's not good. All right. Ooh, that hurts. All right. So I got that going on. So we're good with that. All right, so let's get to it then. Hello, Elaine Parker. Black Queen, Rodney Jackson, Sonia Alexander, Veronica Quick, Sonia Johnson. Let me see. Okay. I think we're good. Don't want to go back too far. Oh, got a new member, huh? Sarah Turner, thank you so much for your new membership. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Remember, the memberships are only $4.99 a month, and I think that's a real bargain. I haven't done any of those different levels of membership. Is Miss VS here? Okay. Let me see. You got that right. I was trying to edit a video before I started, and I do that sometimes. Hello, Nubian Queen. And well, anyway, for as short as it is, I wasn't even sure I still had it, but it just seemed like it was so apropos for today. I'm just like, let me go ahead and do that. Just as a reminder to us all exactly where we are. Let me see. Amy Girl has a new membership. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And Chef Sandy Love, thank you for the super sticker. It is greatly appreciated. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. And for those of you who have had trouble getting into the conversation, the chat, for whatever unknown reason, wherever I have been able to do it, I've made some necessary adjustments so that you guys can participate. But it seems like with a couple people, even that didn't help. So I don't know what's up with the YouTube, but I try. Hello, Lucy Wynn, but I know other people have had the same problem, so I don't think it's unique to Royal Sussex. Hello, Judy Regold. Okay, so oh, all right, there we go. Oh, Nubian Queen, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. All right, let's get on with it then, shall we? So, as I said, oh, wait, you know what? I'm on the wrong slides. That was yesterday's slide. So, Stacey Solomon, Elaine Parker, thank you so much. Thank you for the super sticker, and thank you for being a member and watching Royal Sussex. Okay, so Stacey Solomon, what can I say about her? You guys may remember she has a very kind of a very cool, kind of a very dry voice that I just love so much. Obviously, I don't know if the accent would be East End or what, but she says doesn't see why British people should fund the wealthy royal family. And if you guys don't remember her, she looks a little different here because she has her hair down in that photo. But the video that I was looking for, the one that I wanted to refresh your tea, let me go ahead and show it to you.
Yeah. I don't get.
Oh, sorry, I had the volume down.
I just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
All right, let's do it one more time. I'm sorry. I had the audio on low, but let me do it from the beginning. It's only 40 seconds.
But I just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
What do you mean? You don't get what?
I don't get why we're so obsessed with these humans that are exactly the same. Like, it could be us four sitting there. I just don't get it.
But are you talking about what you mean as royals or as, like, Kim Kardashian? Because for me, they're becoming celebrities.
Well, to me, that's all they are.
The Queen
is their celebrity.
For me, is brilliant.
I love the Queen.
No, duty, responsibility.
She's always worked really hard, hasn't
I would
she?
work hard if the whole country paid for me to have like 12 houses and work really hard.
They don't pay for all of the houses. But
just a few.
Okay, let's do that one more time since it's such a short video.
But I just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
What do you mean? You don't get what?
I don't get why we're so obsessed with these humans that are exactly the same. Like, it could be us four sitting there. I just don't get it.
But are you talking about what you mean as royals or as, like, Kim Kardashian? Because for me, they're becoming celebrities.
Well, that's all they are.
The Queen
is their celebrity.
For me, is brilliant.
I love the Queen.
For duty, responsibility.
She's always worked really hard, hasn't
I would
she?
work hard if the whole country paid for me to have like 12 houses and work really hard.
They don't pay for all of the houses. But
just a few.
All right, so anyway, if you guys recall, and by the way, thank you for being a new member, Phyllis Johnson. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Yes, Black Queen, she is reading them proper. Now, to be fair, when she said it could be us four sitting up there, this was actually from, I think it was 2018. I think it was from 2018, and it was when they had that one and only stage appearance by the so-called Fab Four, to which Meghan kind of took them to school, and showed them that she was actually the sharpest one in the room. Um, Never to be repeated, of course, because it proved embarrassing for the Cambridges and they were just having none of it. But anyway, so that is what the conversation was about on Loose Women. And she looks up there at the screen and she goes, I just don't get it. I don't get any of it. I don't know why we're paying for them. It could be us four sitting up there. I just don't get it. And so, as though they were in a cult, as though they were in some kind of a cult, there was the quick reply to everything that she was saying. Oh, I think the queen is brilliant. And, you know, it is breathtaking how quickly the two older women at the table were able to respond. I mean, they jumped all over her very quickly, but yet, very politely so. But they managed to get in there and make sure that they reinforced the royal family as quickly as possible. And as an American, as a layperson, I was not as I guess cognizant or aware of how that works until I, obviously, given the circumstances with the Sussexes, were able to step back and take a good long look at the techniques that are deployed to make sure that there is no dissension within the ranks, that anybody who has an opinion is quickly shouted down or put in their place. And they did that so fast, and she couldn't even form her thoughts fast enough to come back without them. Oh, I love the queen. Oh, I think the queen is brilliant. Well, they don't have 12 houses, not all of them, but they do pay for, and it's that older generation that is so alarmingly fast with those comebacks because it's a matter of programming. They have been programmed to defend. And so the OBEs and MBEs and such, it is to reassure that confidence in the crown. It reassures that people are obliged to defend the crown, to defend the sovereign, to defend the royal family, no matter how nonsensical it may seem and under any circumstances. And it's just, I guess, when you hear someone say it's a constitutional monarchy, you don't really give it a second thought, do you? I mean, well, at least some of us did not really give it a second thought. But now I'm seeing how inconsistent that is, the idea that it is a constitutional monarchy, when people who have called out the institution or have questioned the function of the institution are so quickly shot down, so quickly put in their place, and so quickly dismissed as somewhat of an outlier rather than a growing number of people that are asking the question, what do we need them for? Oh, there's the idea that it's good for tourism, that the queen is like some kind of safeguard, well, was some kind of safeguard to democracy. And if things ever really got out of hand, that the queen would be able to step forward and somehow thwart any attempts to take away the rights of the people. When some people would argue that that idea that the sovereign is going to be the safeguard is anything but true, because it seems as though the sovereign's biggest mission is to safeguard the wealth and prosperity of the haves and have mores instead of the haves and have nots, or even the has nots. So I guess it really is a matter of opinion whether or not you truly are afforded any protection, because there is a sovereign safely ensconced on her throne or his throne nowadays. But yeah, it is not bearing fruit, seeing that if you question monarchy, you may find yourself arrested. That has happened. Yeah, people have been detained and arrested for even questioning the idea of monarchy. So I guess we all have to step back and take a good long look at it, and especially if you are, you know, living under that system, you really have to ask some questions. And today, that's exactly what's happening in some of the realms. You have at least two realms that I know of where people are just like, what do we need them for? We don't need them anymore. So, very, very interesting. I'm going to take a look at some of your comments very soon. But wow, things are moving a lot quicker, and I don't want to give anybody false hope if you have in mind that the monarchy should go away anytime soon. But things are moving alarmingly fast, considering that the nation was supposedly in a mourning period, and now it seems as though people have just decided that okay, the mourning period is over, and we are going to uh, say the quiet parts out loud now, and we want them out of there. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is that people are finally saying the quiet parts out loud. And for the people who have been saying it, it just seems to me like they're just saying the quiet parts even louder than ever before. So I am curious to know your opinions about it, because I am just like, I'm going to tell you, I'm a little surprised. I'm a lot surprised at how fast things are moving. I thought for sure that the House of Windsor had more time to, you know, I guess, posture themselves in the new light of day since the Queen has passed away. But it doesn't seem that sympathy is going to be their salvation. It doesn't seem like people are going to uh, wait another day, or give it just a little while longer, or wait and see how Prince Charles behaves. It's as though they have already made up their minds that the royal family has to go. The young people, okay, in particular the young people, and then of course there's the independent movements in Scotland and Wales that's taking place today. So anyway, that being said, let me oh, by the way, thank you so much. Is it Sani W? Thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex, and happy Saturday to you. Thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciated. And also Maggie Joseph, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for being here and for watching, of course, Royal Sussex. Happy Saturday to you. So, and we have a super chat. Amy Girl says, Baron, I have asked how to get rid of this Afro Annie emoji. Okay, the Afro Annie emoji. The way you get rid of it is, I think in the next month it goes away. It's temporary, and I believe it's only for that first month, and then the second month, I think you get a different one. So yeah, it just means that you have just recently became a member. So it's not permanent. It goes away in the first 30 days, I believe. So yeah. And you know what? I need to update those emojis. I was thinking about that. I think I can add more for the people who have actually been members longer. So let me see if I can play around with that and change some of those out, because those same emojis have been in place for like, I think 14 or 15 months. So it is time to make a change. Thank you so much for your comment, and thank you for the super sticker. But yes, when the time comes, you can switch to the next one, or the next one will pop up. And matter of fact, let me see if I can show you what's coming down the pike. I can go into the chat myself. I got to go to another screen, but I can show you what's coming down the pike, and you can see what the options for the next emojis are. Just to satisfy your curiosity. Also, there is another super chat. Two River Powers says, "You give me joy when I say Royal Sussex." Royal Sussex. Sotto voce? Is that what that is? Sotto voce? Sotto voice? Voice? With you, Baron. Let me see. Thanks for this supportive platform for Harry and Meghan. You are targeted as a threat to the royal family and monarch way of life. Much love to you all. Thank you so much to River Power. And I don't know how much I keep those people up at night, but if that is exactly what's happening, I am so glad for the opportunity, that's for sure. Okay, so here comes the other emojis. There we go. And I am putting it in the conversation right there. So it's Afro Annie, Harry, and then Meghan, and then Harry and Meghan. Yeah, so those are the ones that's coming up. But I think only for 1 month do you have the Afro Annie. And I think you'll have the, you know what, guys, I don't know how it works. So if you do know, just please mention it in the chat. But I think every month it changes, and then you have access to all four, or do you just have access to the next one? But yeah, there's only four, and there really should be more options out there. All right, thank you so much to River Power, and thank you for watching. Thank you all for watching Royal Sussex. Me too. I want to get rid of Afro Annie. Really, really, are you guys gonna do me like Stacey Solomon? I just
don't get it. I don't get any of it.
What do you mean? You don't get what?
Yeah.
I don't know why we have to have Afro Annie. I just don't get it. I don't get any of it. What? Why we have to have Afro Annie? Woo! Okay, you just don't get it. All right, I'll see what I can do. Now, y'all know how long it takes me to get around to stuff, but I promise you that will be my homework. Um, I think it took me about 6 months to even arrange a membership. What is it? Dorothy Ross right here says, Baron, the baddies have been working on things from way back, long before Betty left us. That is very true. That is very true. And with the institution, there are so many ambiguities about who is and is not working against people, the most or the worst or as often. And so they can hide behind the walls of the institution, hide behind the pomp and pageantry, and it is hard to know who is the worst of the worst, who is borrowing the other person's I guess ladder in some kind of way. I guess if that makes sense. But somebody is like climbing over the next person, and then they hide behind either the courtiers or the press. But there always seems to be some great deal of mischief at play, and they leave it deliberately ambiguous so you don't know where the worst of it is coming from. But you know who is the head of household or head of the firm, if you will, the sovereign. And so that is the ultimate place where the responsibility lies. And then you can just work your way down from there. But it's like so many things that they could really put an end to some of that treachery if they so choose to do it. But it's they don't. They just let things fester. They allow the hurt to continue, and as long as nobody's messing with them, they seem to be quite satisfied. Let's see. Here it says Lex. Oh, let me do that. Okay. Lex says when will Kensington cosplay Karen and Baldy Locks learn Caribbean? They went to Wales and looked well, let me say they went to Wales and look at today. You can't teach an old bald a new trick. They went there what last week, and the response to their visit was to have a rally. That seemed to be the response. And then, of course, it seems as though Scotland said, well, if you guys are protesting, we're protesting too. Although it doesn't take a lot to get the Scottish people to protest because they have been doing that for quite some time. In recent memory, I don't know who started this last wave of protests, but I'm going to say it started in Scotland, most likely, depending on how far you want to go back. But they have been very vocal about wanting to leave the union, especially considering that last referendum came very close to, leaving the monarchy. So apparently, the prime minister is supposed to have a lot of input as to whether or not they're allowed to have a referendum, or is it the English Parliament has the final say so. But I don't think it will stop either realm from making their voices heard. And at some point, they may actually, I don't know. It seems like if they just want to do a referendum, they don't have to ask permission. I mean, maybe that's the way things are supposed to go. But if the weight of change is that heavy, I just don't know what stops them. I really don't. But we all heard that people were waiting for the Queen to die. We all heard that people have a strong dislike for Prince Charles. And there were so many people saying in Australia, in Canada, in Scotland, in Wales, that they want to rid themselves of the monarchy. And then, of course, you have Northern Ireland, whereas what I think I read recently is that the Catholics have become the majority. So even there, it's not safe for British rule because the people who are Catholic, they dream of the day that there will be a united Ireland and that they will be a whole country again instead of separated, with Northern Ireland, that they will be a whole country again. Now, people used to have that same dream about Germany, and eventually it did happen. It's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's when. It is going to happen. They are going to unite as a country again. They have so much culture in common. And amongst the younger people, I don't know if they are as strongly in favor of staying with the United Kingdom as the rest of the people in Northern Ireland. So it's going to be very interesting. This is going to be a very volatile time for Charles. For Charles. Thank you so much for your comment, Legs. Amy Girl says, yes, please show us. Ready for Afro Annie to go. Now, Amy Girl, are you sure or are you just certain? Because if you're sure, I mean, all right. So Afro Annie is going to have to go out to pasture. But remember, you are going to miss her, I think. You may not know it now, but you are going to miss Afro Annie. She kind of grows on you. But okay, message understood. Um, but all right, so let me see here. Okay. You know I'm up to no good right now. Anytime I take a pause like that, you know I'm up to no good. So let me see. All right, all right, all right. You know I got to do it. Just bear with me. You know I have to do it. Um, she had a good run though, didn't she? She had a good run, and and just like so many other things, the time for change is near. So let's just do this and get it over with, shall we? Okay. Man, if I could find it. Oh, there we go. Or if that's not enough, how about oh man. Okay, I'm not gonna torture you all with these. Wait. What about this one? What about this one? Let me see. Let me see. Uh I ain't got nothing better to do. Or if that's not enough, I got one more for you. I got one more. Since this is Afro Annie's last stand. Hit it. Right on, Annie. Woo! All right. Connie Balmer. Thank you, Connie Balmer, for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, just so we're clear, Afro Annie is going to disappear from the super stickers, but Afro Annie is here to stay. All right. Let me see here. There we go. You know what? I can't believe I'm still on this same slide. I have not moved from this slide yet. I'm over here plotting and scheming with Scotland and Wales. Hey, V, what's going on? I was looking down and bouncing to the music and looked up and cracked. All right, V. All right, that's what she's here for. That's what she's here for. I think it's so much better to laugh at them than to ever have any other bad feelings for them. I think it's always better to just laugh at the enemy if you can. If you can. Baron, what are your thoughts on Joe, the former British soldier? I watched it all. I can't say. All I could say was, "Oh my!" You know what? I did watch the rest of it, and I loved it. I didn't want it to end. It was a very short but very poignant video, and I didn't want it to end. I loved it. I thought it was. It gave me my life yesterday. That and the other ones. Oh, you know what? I still haven't watched that Spotify yet. I haven't watched the Spotify, and the other one I have not watched. I have not watched oh, what is it? What is it I love on Saturday morning? Celibacy. I haven't watched Celibacy yet. You know what, guys? I'm gonna take the slow mode. I'm gonna put it for 60 seconds because I can see there's a lot coming in fast. So we're going to do 60 seconds now. All right. Okay, so that should help a bit. And all right, and sorry I'm missing all your questions and comments and such, but thank you, Bridget Cross. Afro Eddie was born out of that it was that hair. It was that hair that has drawn me to the Afro Annie character, loosely based on that actual person, of course. Let's see here. So next one. Oh, there it is right there. I I had this as the next photo and totally forgot about it. But I just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
I just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
I love to hear her say that. I love to hear her say that. It is just so it's like born out of the frustration of why are you all so brainwashed?
I just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
And then quickly they had to suppress her to make sure that she couldn't I guess find any. Well, you know what the thing is, the reason why we're talking about it is just this right here. Stacey Solomon doesn't see why the British people should fund the wealthy royals. Oh, you know what? I don't have the rest of the story here. But anyway, that clip is going viral. That's why we're talking about it right now. That clip has suddenly gone viral. And so, because it has suddenly gone viral, that is why the conversation is on the table today. Because that, amongst other things, like I said, it is so odd, the timing, but the timing is probably proper. But people are saying, if not now, when? If not today, when? And so they don't care that the queen has just died. They just don't care. We don't want to wait another moment, is the message that they're putting out there. It's like, so what? We are going to have the conversation today. You got to love them for it. You really got to love the young people for their ability to engage in the battle for their future, for their birthright, their future, without any regards as to whether or not other people believe that the timing is proper. They just don't care. Like she says, I just don't get it. I don't get any of it. Um, it's amazing. It is amazing. I can't tell you how I guess proud I am of the young people. I am very proud of them. I admire their what do you call it? Their strength, their conviction. I admire it. They are just they're putting it out there, and they don't care what people think. They are not going to play down their emotions. They are just putting it out there, and good on them. Good on them. Okay, so let me go to some more of your comments, and then I think we will move on from that. Finally, we'll move on from it. Okay, let me do this and this. Uh-oh, nope, I gotta go back there. Got to go back there. All right, so there I am. I'm back. Phyllis Johnson, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Saturday to you. Thank you for being here. Greatly appreciated. And also thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. All right, happy birthday. Happy birthday. This very good looking guy right here is celebrating his birthday today. Do you guys know who that is? Squaddies, Baron, Baronets, do you guys recognize that very handsome young man or that very strikingly beautiful young lady? They fell in love 76 years ago. Yes, it is Jimmy Carter, Compton Cali gal. It is Jimmy Carter, James Earl Carter from Plains, Georgia. He is celebrating his birthday. Um, he was in the Navy. I think he was a gunnery sergeant, or oh my gosh, I can't remember. But anyway, He was that peanut farmer that I remember from the 1970s. I remember when he ran for office rather. I remember so many things about him, and one thing that I remember is how much I have always loved and admired the Carters. I thought they were just awesome. I felt that way then, and I feel that way now. I thought they were just awesome, and he has shown that a post presidency can be a very dignified life. He hasn't just, sat around doing nothing. Even though the Republicans like to use him as some type of laughing stock and all that kind of stuff, he has a very strong moral compass, and his faith in his God is very strong, and he just doesn't care what people think about him. He is, just tried and true. And he was only president for 4 years. There was inflation and other things, but mostly it was Iran, the crisis in Iran. That is what cost him his presidency. It is believed that the Iranians made a deal with, I almost said the devil. Well, almost the same thing. They made a deal with Ronald Reagan. See what I mean? Almost the same thing. But no, I shouldn't say that. But anyway, they did. They made some kind of deal with Ronald Reagan, and that's what happened to him. So very honorable man. Let me share another couple of photos of him. Take a look there. I'm telling you, he was a hottie, wasn't he? You almost forget how good looking he was. And I always thought Rosalind was very beautiful. So they were just like this big White House power couple. And Rosalind, she actually sat in on some of those cabinet meetings, which some people had, problems with that. And people forget that their partnership was so strong that she was like the most trusted person in his life, not only in life, but also in the White House. So I've always admired that they, whatever has happened, they have done everything together, and they have been devoted to each other. The only controversy that he ever had in terms of their relationship was when he mentioned that he sometimes in his heart he lusted for other people, but he was just being very frank and honest in a magazine article. And um and and so they kind of, it wasn't really used against him. I don't think that anybody cared, but it was surprising to people that you even hear a Jimmy Carter say, um what that that he would lust for anybody, let alone but anyway, it was just kind of odd, but people made more out of it than what they should have. And other than that, he has been very, very low on the scale of controversy. So happy birthday to Jimmy Carter, 98 years old. 98. He had a brain tumor recently, and well, that turned out to have been a successful treatment. I think they used immunotherapy or something like that. But whatever it was that they used, as you can see, he is still quite here. And I guess the other time that I remember seeing him in recent days or recent months was when the Bidens went to visit him. So um, and so yeah, and his wife is still alive. They both have each other as they've always had, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I just have to say it again. Love, love, love Jimmy Carter. So yeah, yeah. Thank you, Gwendolyn Daniels. Another true love affair. Yeah, I see that for the Sussexes. I see the Sussexes are going to be together for a very long time, and they're going to have a long and prosperous, fruitful life together. That's what I see for them. This is like the model that I see for them is lots of philanthropy, motivational speeches and such. And you guys know what? Jimmy Carter, up until I guess just before the pandemic, he was still doing Bible study. Yes, and the what is it? The Habitats home for Habitats or whatever, something Habitats where he was building those homes. Yeah, yeah. He 666. Ronald Wilson Reagan. His uh his name Ronald Wilson Reagan. 3 6s, 6 letters each name. Ronald Wilson Reagan. Anyway, oh man. Oh, that's sweet. Let me see. Jimmy Carter was on the ballot for my first for my very first ability to vote in Washington D.C. in 1976. Presidential election, Jimmy Carter ran against Gerald R. Ford. I remember Gerald Ford, the president after Nixon resigned. Yes, and you know what? LDSW, the two times in life that I got Final Jeopardy, it was because of Gerald Ford. And I'm going to tell you what the question was. Oh, I'm sorry, the answer. Who were the two Republican presidents during the centennial and bicentennial years? Who were the two Republican presidents during the centennial and bicentennial years? Now, I've already given away one of the answers, but you have to figure out the other one. Okay, the two Republican presidents during the centennial and bicentennial years. Okay, you ready? Do 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 do. Boom boom. All right. Who are the two Republican presidents during the centennial and bicentennial years? Church Nelly. Right. Prudence Montague. I'm sorry, that's not it. Black Queen. Nope, that's not it either. Not Abraham Lincoln, not Lyndon Johnson, but LDSW. You're on the right track. Okay, so the centennial is the first 100 years. The bicentennial is the second 100 years. So I suppose that the third 100 years of America is, I'm sorry, of the United States of America is the tricentennial, right? So for our bicentennial, yes, there was Gerald R. Ford. Remember, he took over for that other Republican, Richard Milhouse Nixon. But for Abraham Lincoln during the centennial of this country, well, Lincoln was already assassinated. Andrew Johnson was his vice president, right? And you know how they have those things where you compare Lincoln and Kennedy. Well, Kennedy was succeeded by Johnson, and Abraham Lincoln was succeeded by his vice president, Johnson. But Johnson was very corrupt and was voted out of office. Yes, yes, I think somebody may have cheated, but yes. Ulysses S. Grant. Okay, I shouldn't say that, but I did get that right. So Grant was a Republican, and he was elected for that presidential cycle that would take you, or term, if you will, that would take you through 1876. And by 1976, there was, of course, Gerald Ford. So there you have it. Those were those two presidents that celebrated our centennial and bicentennial years. Don't you love my game show voice? Who were the two Republican presidents during the centennial and the bicentennial years? And the answer is, oh wait, who had that? Anyway, that was the answer. Oh my God, please don't even make me think about that. Trump doing Habitats for the Humanities. There would have to be some kind of grift in there somewhere where he would charge admissions to watch him tell other people what to do. Yeah. That's and then of course he would make it a reality show. He would turn Habitats for the Humanities into a reality show. So yeah, I wouldn't want to be around to see that one. I would just take people's words for it. Oh my gosh, he would make that into a circus. Okay, so happy birthday, James Earl Carter, Jimmy Carter from Plains, Georgia, the peanut farmer. You know, guys, he went broke. Jimmy Carter went broke while he was in the White House. Unlike Jimmy Carter, Trump did not put his finances into a blind trust. You guys, the traditions that Trump has violated as president, that so many people turn a blind eye to, is so disturbing. But most presidents put their finances into a blind trust, so that way there will be no conflict of interest. Trump said that he would leave it to his sons, but he never did. He took business meetings right up until the last day he was in office, whereas Jimmy Carter did the honorable thing and went bankrupt, of course, but he didn't even know the state of his finances until he left the White House. And even though, that seems awful, at least he did the honorable thing. But Trump, he did nothing but solicit money left and right for the entire 4 years he was in office. Huge entourages of foreign dignitaries stayed at the Trump Hotel in Washington and paid way more than the market rate just to fill his coffers. That is how egregious his violations were. So when people tell me that they, support him, I'm just like, what you're supporting is someone who has really, I guess, degraded the entire office of the president. So, okay, that's enough of that. Let me get rid of that and move on here. Okay, so the coins are in, and it is official. There is a Charles III, right? Charles III coin. Let me see. Rex means king. And F, what is that? Fidelis something? I don't know what that is, but I'm thinking it's Latin. So I know that Rex means king, but I don't know what those other ones mean. But anyway, there is the Charles III coin. And I love the way that they are being true to form. As you can see, he got that kind of rubbery looking face, and they included that kind of rubbery looking face for the coin. I wonder if it moves at all. I wonder if it moves. It would be interesting to know if that actually moves or waddles or jiggles or whatever. But yeah, so that is the official Charles III coin. And the likeness is striking. I mean, it looked like somebody struck him, don't it? Okay, so, and this is one of the rough drafts. I guess the artist who sculpted the, relief that eventually would be made into a coin must have just, I guess, looked at the most obvious thing that was near him, and that was that big, fat, chubby sausage finger hand. And yeah, so somehow, I guess, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's just like you're given the task to sculpt an image of the sovereign, and just by chance, instead of like getting his face, the thing that really stuck out was that big fat chubby hand. They just couldn't stop looking at it. And so unfortunately, they had to scrap it and do it all over again. And that is how they came up with this image. But it took some doing. But well, this was the first, right? But then that second round is how they got this one. um, and the person was trying their best to make sure that they really captured the spirit of the sovereign. But again, all things considered, you think you're doing the right thing, but now see, this would cause a tear in your trousers, right? This could actually ruin your pants. So that oh man. Yeah, I know. It seems like one of those things that could end someone's career, but I think this person just went for authenticity. So that is how that happened. You can't blame them though. You know what I mean? They're just taking their cue from what's around them. They don't set out to cause embarrassment to the sovereign or anything like that, but it just happened. It just happened. And that's why people always say,
I just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
that's why people say, I just don't get it. I don't get any of it. Why would you want to put a face like that on the coin? And you know what's bad though? Let's say if you're a coin collector, wouldn't it be odd? Wouldn't it be odd that as a coin collector, that every so often you had to go and get like a Q-tip and clean your coin? You know what I mean? When you clean your coin, you think that the solvents and everything are going to work, but still, at the end of the day, if you really want your coin clean, you have to go and get a Q-tip just for that one coin. Just for that one coin, you have to go and get a Q-tip. Not for any other coin, just for that one coin. When you're cleaning your coins, and everything, you have to go get a Q-tip. And usually they have those little plastic cases that you see, those little round cases where you put the coin in and that keeps it safe and clean and everything. It's just for that one coin, you'll have to have like an opening so the ear can stick out. and and for your coin purse or your wallet or something like that, um I know, New York City, quiet boy. I know, and I really feel for the working class people in the UK because their futures are being toyed with. Their financial stability is in danger, and and someone even said that the whole reason why they're doing this is so that those hedge fund managers or whatever, some of those people that speculate on the markets, are going to make a lot of money when the market comes back up. So buy on the dip, as they say, or buy low, sell high. So they're going to make a lot of money. But and when they said that the Bank of England was trying to bolster the British economy, they were literally buying the bonds, the governmental bonds. They were buying them in bulk, no matter how much, or what that is, no matter how many it took. They were just buying them. So that lets you know how desperate the situation is. So yeah, too bad for people whose you know mortgages are going to go up or whatever. It's just crazy. Let's see. Deborah Debbie says, Baron, in my country, those who got the independence for the country are six in number. Let's say are six in number, and they are all dead. Our notes still have their images, not the image of the president, just retain the queen. Oh, really? What country are you from? If you don't mind saying, you don't have to, but yeah, well, it's going to take a while before they change everything over. It's going to be expensive, but it is going to take a while. When you go through London, you might find an old postage box that has like George the Six's cipher on it. You may find something that still has Queen Victoria's cipher on it. Those are like little things that you'll find around the city of London. And so there's going to be a lot of things that has the Queen's cipher on it for a very, very long time. And that does include the money. So it's not going to change that fast, but I guess for Charles, it won't be fast enough. Okay, so what about this coin? Now, that is an American coin, but for some reason, there is a pseudo British aristocrat whose image seems to be on the American currency. Don't ask me how that happened, but there is this odd situation where there's someone who calls themselves an aristocrat whose image just happens to be on American currency. It's the oddest darn thing I've ever seen. I mean, because when she turns sideways, them looks like a nickel. So I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that before, but yeah, there's this one aristocrat who somewhat resembles a nickel when he, they, them turn sideways. So isn't it odd? I mean, there, you know what I mean? It's rather odd, but they, them, he, she, we. When she turns sideways, she just reminds me of a nickel. I'll show you. Which is really so sad. The people with the hate channels, they have like, especially Lady C. As far as I'm concerned, that's a hate channel. And Lady C routinely gets some huge numbers of people who wake up with this desire to hate. I don't understand that. The Fox network here in the US, it's not as though they have. Okay, so there's that one. Let me see. Ah. I can't really say those out loud. I can this one though, but it ain't for me. Okay, so. And then there was that misstep with William. To commemorate his 40th birthday, they came up with a collectible coin for him. Only trouble is, the first draft actually resembled Mr. Burns. So they had to go back and do it again. And then they decided, well, if it looks too much like Mr. Burns, just add a little hair on top. So that's what they did. And that way they were able to change it so that it would look more, at least human, than otherwise. So there you go. But if you ask me,
what do you mean? You don't get what?
Yeah. I don't get why we're so obsessed with these humans that are exactly the same. Like, it could be us four sitting there. I just don't get it.
And I just don't get it either. Let me see. Oh, thank you, LDSW. Charles III, De Gracia, what is it? De Gracia Rex. I thought it was Fidelis, but it's Fide the Defensor. So, abbreviated in on the coin, translated from Latin to English, Charles III, the grace of God, King, defender of the faith. Thank you so much for that. So now we know what it says. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Not prehistoric. Not prehistoric. So anyway, that is how we were rendered with the image of the William coin. It was because they added a little hair, and it went from looking like Mr. Burns to the William. I just don't get it. I don't get any of it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dorothy Ross. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Saturday to you. Greatly appreciate it. Okay. And then, of course, not to be outdone, they said that at some point that Princess Diana was working with the Royal Mint to create a commemorative coin. Why she chose the Rothweiler, I don't know. There has been some speculation, but apparently Princess Diana at one time was working with the Royal Mint to come up with a coin, as a little pet project, no pun intended. But she was working on a commemorative coin of her own. And so, for whatever reason, without any explanation, she chose the Rottweiler. I don't know. And then, just to make sure that it had a utilitarian value to it, she had them punch a hole in it. So, again, I don't know what she had in mind with that coin, if she was going to gift it to someone, or, you know what I mean? She just came up with this unforgettable design that, for whatever reason, didn't quite take off, or it was never put into production. But it does. I mean, if you want to wear it, or if you want to gift it or whatever, it does seem to have that quality to it. So again, I don't know what the purpose of it was, but it was just something that the late princess was working on. And anyway, you can see it for yourself there. I don't know. One of these days we might find out what was going on with that, but right for now.
Duke and Duchess of Sussex. This is my own feelings being expressed the only way I know how.
Okay. Now, Iris Demonia, I just saw, let me see. Iris Demonia gifted 1 Royal Sussex membership. How does that work? Because if I want to do that, how can I do that? Let me see. That is the first time I've ever seen that. You'll be amazed at how much about this I don't know. Okay, so you mean to tell me you can gift those memberships? Oh my goodness, Sylvia Fielder, you got a membership? Well, thank you both for that. I don't know how that worked. Ain't that a shame? I have no idea how that's done. Oh, this opens up a whole world of possibilities, doesn't it? And you know what? If I wasn't looking at my regular screen, I wouldn't have even noticed it. But thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. Okay. All right, let me do this. Okay, take that away. Now, mind you, I'm not being insensitive or anything, but I saw this Stephen Chung tweeted this, and I was just sharing it with you. And it is a lesson to us all that spacing does matter. Let me know when you see it. But it is just a lesson to us all that spacing does matter. That's it. I have nothing else to add to it. I'm just sharing that it is a thing and that someone wanted to make sure that ABC News would be more careful in the future, I guess. But it took me a while to figure out, Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, so remember, lesson to self. Spacing matters. Okay, and then of course, this also matters. The two most influential royals, it matters. People magazine decided to make a big deal out of an old photo, which just goes to show that the media is starved. They are starving for more of Harry and Meghan. But we all know that anyway. But they are starving for more Harry and Meghan. And that's why they took just a old photo and made a big deal out of it. I mean, this photo is from a while ago, from about, a month ago. But they featured it in their magazine because they are just hungry for stuff to talk about. Okay, like I said, it took me a minute to see it myself. And right here, Prince of Wales, 73, is facing more questions after he accepted a reported $1.2 million for his charity. Prince Charles is facing criticism once again over donation to one of his charities, according to the Sunday Times. Charles received a $1.2 million charity donation from Osama bin Laden's half-brother in 2013. They just won't let this die. They are not likely. I mean, he's not going to get in trouble. He is officially above the law because he is now the sovereign, so he cannot be called to witness. However, they can ask him to answer questions just to hopefully put it to bed, but nothing's going to come of it. Oh, well, I thought it was kind of, just one of those things that happened by chance. I see you guys. But yeah, I'm just like, because when I first looked at it, I was just like,
I just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
but then I finally saw the writing on the wall, so to speak. It's like, oh, that's awkward. Okay, and then there's this. Royal snub as Prince of Denmark refused to be buried with his queen. So yesterday, you guys, I told you I didn't have an actual photo of him, and so I found the slide that I meant to use yesterday. And as I read more about it, it appears that not only did he have dementia, but this poor guy had actually suffered from I think it was a brain tumor or aneurysm. I think it was a brain tumor. So he had a tumor, and so either one of those things could have caused him impaired judgment. But whether he had any of those illnesses or not, it was said that he had dementia, right? But whether or not that happened, I think that if he had dementia, then the idea that I don't want to be buried with the family, I'm just surprised that they followed through with that. But that was his wishes. And when he died, I don't think he was in Denmark. He was at his escape in France. He was French and he was from France. And that was where he felt the most at home. So he was not with the queen when he died. He died in his sleep. But he just, for whatever reason, did not want to be buried with the family. He didn't feel like he had been respected not only by the country, but by the queen. So, as most monarchies, a Danish princess becomes queen when her husband takes the throne. But a man does not become king through being married to a queen. After a 2009 Danish referendum supported sexual equality in royal succession, Heinrich said, I hope that men will be as equal as girls, spurring further debate and briefly finding support in parliament in favor of granting him the title king, a movement that came to nothing. I was surprised about that. I'm surprised it went that far. I think it would cause too much confusion to have a king consort or to have any man in a royal household that is called a king and having a queen, as though they, I mean, I don't know if he thought that they were going to rule as co-equals or something like that, but it just seemed kind of strange to me. And that he, well, thank you, Elaine Parker. I mean, I learned that when what's his name was in trouble, the weird butler, the one that stole Princess Diana's knickers and her gowns and handkerchiefs with lipstick on them and perfume and a writing desk, and he had all those things in his house when it was raided by the police. And the only reason it didn't go to trial is because the queen recalled a conversation where she asked him to keep a few of her items safe at his house, right? Instead of in the royal collection, where it's climate control and guarded 24 hours a day. It was safer hidden in the cupboards and the floorboards of Paul Burrell's house. And notice I'm not saying allegedly, because all these things are true. He took that stuff. And the queen recalled the conversation. Y'all know that it wasn't no conversation that the queen recalled, and that did not happen. So the queen, and as much as I try to say, oh, I don't think the queen was in control of things toward the end. Well, you know what? You have to put an asterisk on that, because the truth is she may have been in it up to her earlobes and just, played the sweet old lady. We really don't know. It'd be hard to say one way or the other. But during that time, she wasn't so old. And there was a statement released from the Queen's office saying that the Queen recalled a conversation. I didn't believe it then, and I don't believe it now. But because the Queen could not be called to witness in a court bearing her name, the Queen's Court, then it was impossible for her to ever be called to testify, and that essentially closed the case for Paul Beryl. All they needed was the Queen to say, "Ew, I call a conversation. And that was the end of the case. Paul Burrell was free to go. That was it. All because the Queen recalled a conversation. Now, when she asked him to hold a few things, I'm sure she didn't tell him, please take 300 items home. Please go back and forth to Kensington Palace day and night with the boot of your car dragging the ground with curtain rods sticking out of your windows and a bonnet that's full of underwear and stuff like that. Please take all that stuff that you can fit into your car. Take several trips if you have to. Take several trips if you have to. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the Queen's intention. However, that is what happened. There was some 300 items that belonged to Princess Diana that was at Paul Burrell's house. So, like I said, Charles is above the law now. They can't touch him. Let me see here. Please, pretty sure Philip did not want to wait on Betty either. They they buried him at her feet where he had been all his Black Queen. Are you implying that they're using him as a footrest down there in the vault? Woo! Oh man, you're gonna get us in trouble. Let me get this off the screen. Let me see. Woo! You're gonna get us in trouble. Black Queen, don't sneak up on me like that. You are going to get us in trouble. You don't want them to call the people on us, do you? You know they might call the people.
Police! 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 Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police! Help!
So please behave yourself before somebody being called the popo on us. Okay, so where was I? Boy, it's a lot of comments here. I'm so sorry. I can't keep up with them all. Let me see. The King Philip of Spain is the hereditary king of Spain. His wife is the Queen Consort Letizia. Yes, she is. Very beautiful lady. And she had a life before she joined that family, too. Let me see. I know that's the truth, my shot. Thank you. Let me see. Let me see. And Bridget Cross says, as a Dane and non-royalist, I don't mind the removal of the children's title. However, I do find it odd that she communicated the news through her court master and not during a private audience. Yeah, it seems to have ruffled some feathers, and it's just unfortunate because I just hate to see that the kids, you know, I just feel like the kids may feel othered by this, and that feeling of being othered or not good enough or something like that, or just having something taken away. If it was already scheduled to happen by their 25th birthday, I'm just wondering what was the hurry? What was the big hurry? What in this life was changing that would make it necessary to take those titles away? Now, I speculated, of course, that the fact that the kids were doing runway work. Now, if that is the problem, then, I could understand that. But other than that, I don't know how it would harm the royal family in Denmark where they have a popularity of 82%. They have a popularity rating of 82%. So how would their titles until the age of 25 harm the family? If the people in the country have that much consideration for the monarchy, if it's the model for monarchies in Europe, it is considered this very, I guess, low drama royal family, then why do something like this that would cause, I would say, embarrassment for the queen's younger son? Why do something like this that would make the kids feel awkward? I mean, kids can be mean. And so for the two younger ones, I hear you're not going to be a princess anymore. I'm not saying that is absolutely going to happen, but what's the rush? They were going to take those titles at age 25. What is the rush? Why not leave those titles intact until they reach age 25? And especially if that was the understanding up until the point that they were all taken away as of January 1st, 2023, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get any of it, right?
I just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
What do you mean?
I don't get any of it. Okay, I'm trying to be serious here. But I just don't get it. I don't get any of it. Um Black Queen, I see you got an amen section going on. I'm not even gonna look. I'm just gonna mind my business and keep it moving because I need plausible deniability for some things. So I'm just gonna keep it moving. But yeah, so that's the only thing that I could think of is that they were doing runway work. And yes, one of them appeared with his shirt off, with his dewy, soft skin and hard pectoral and ab muscles showing. But I don't see what the problem is. And yes, maybe the younger one has that amazing cleft in his chin. Oh, they both do, as a matter of fact. But I just don't get it. I don't get any of it. What is the problem? They are just working models in Paris, something that
I just don't get it.
they are working models in Paris, and that's it. They're not bothering anybody just because they look like they should be in a Disney movie. Who are they harming? I mean, if it wasn't for the fashion industry, my God, Walt Disney would have called them in. So what's the problem? I as my friend says, I just don't get it.
I just don't get it.
So y'all know that's my new favorite thing, don't you? I just don't get it. I don't get any of it. Woo! That's my new favorite thing is I just don't get it. I don't get any of it. As a matter of fact, that is the best thing since
I got time for that.
yeah, that is the best thing since ain't nobody got time for that. So y'all, I promise you, I'm not on that stuff. Okay. And if anybody asks you, I'm not on that stuff. I'm just having fun today. And anyway, there is a photo of her husband up close. They seem like a very loving pair when things were going well. So I just think it's really unfortunate that that things went so terribly bad toward the end, but it's just too bad. It really is. Whatever happened, I guess there is something to do with court life. Maybe it's something to do with something very personal. He said he never felt respected. One of the things I read is that he did have a following in Denmark. And when he died, there were people who placed flowers outside of the various palaces. Not a lot, but there were people who felt very sympathetic toward the old man. So, um, yeah, again, it's unfortunate because it's just such a stellar image that they had up until all of this happened. And I guess you can't unring a bell. I wish there was some way that you can go back and undo this, or at least find a better way to have done it, but it doesn't seem to be possible. Feelings are hurt. There is all of a sudden, um, the press has noticed the family in a more obvious way instead of the more abstract way, and that's never good. So Brigitte says there is a history in regards to Prince Hokum, Joachim. Okay, Hokim, right? Hokim. He was given property in Jutland and was supposed to be a farmer. He sold that property for a large sum. Many Danes weren't happy, nor was the queen. Okay. Now that is interesting. And yeah, I could imagine that would bring some um negative press to the family. Um yeah, that probably shouldn't have happened. If you were gifted something like that and then you turn around and you sold it for a large sum. And I'm pretty sure if they had any idea that he was going to do that, they would have included in the deeding process or whatever, where he would have to, keep it and not sell it. But yeah, that is unfortunate. Oh man, that is unfortunate. Okay, that sheds a different light on things. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm always open to another side of the story. I don't like to just take one fact and run with it. Okay, and so let the revolution begin. So the Welsh and Scots are coming out to march for their independence. This is how King Charles III's rule starts. Well, I mentioned that the other day, didn't I? And so in Edinburgh today, on the Royal Mile, you may recognize Giles Cathedral. That is where the Queen's service took place up there in Scotland. They are marching. And on the right side, where you see the woman holding that red cell phone, that is where the guy in the very quiet, muffled streets of Edinburgh yelled out as loud as he could, "Andrew, you're a sick old man." That is the very famous location where we heard, "Andrew, you're a sick old man." Um, so just to give you a little reference to the geography, the Queen was rolling down the street in her royal state hearse, and the kid on the side saw a group of siblings, an aging group of baby boomers, actually a couple of them pensioners at this point, walking toward him. And he was so overwhelmed with emotion that something welled up inside of him and said, "Andrew, you're a sick old man." And then he was plucked from the crowd, thrown to the ground, handcuffed. And as he was carted away, he yelled, "Disgusting!" Woo! Disgusting! I love that. that was like my best day since Christmas. When he yelled disgusting, I promise you, you could hear it as far away as Glasgow. Disgusting! And poor Andrew, the sick old man, was just trying to reform his image. After all, his mother had just died. Didn't matter. You're a sick old man, and that's all to it. I don't care who mama just died. You're a sick old man. And everybody from here to Glasgow is going to know about it because that kid told people in a very loud and clear, distinct voice, Andrew, you're a sick old man. And Now, the last time he tried to reform his image was in this photo right here. Notice the church behind him. This photo was taken for a prayer service, well, at a prayer service, outside of a prayer service for Prince Philip, when Prince Philip died. So this was prior to the funeral. He stood outside and he saw those cameras. And baby, when he saw those cameras, he almost knocked over a nun, a fifth grader, a pram with a baby in it. He leaped over a hedge and did a cartwheel into a split so that he can get in front of that camera and thank people for all the support for the family at this time. Now, this was his first attempt to reform his image. I mean to tell you, he slid under a semi truck. He jumped over the state Bentley. He did all kind of maneuvers to try to hurry up and get there before they took that camera away. He rolled across the hood like they were filming a Wesley Snipes movie. Swung on a vine. All kind of changes he went through because he saw that camera and he was like, uh-oh, this is my chance to reform my image. So he pushed aside the archbishop, right? And then he went plowing. As a matter of fact, when they opened up the door of the Queen State Bentley, when they opened up the door, he ran through one side of the car and jumped out the window on the other side of the car just so he could get in front of that camera. Just so that he can get in front of that camera, panting and sweating, and his hair is all over the place. But he was able to make it in front of the camera before they took the camera away so he could thank people for yeah, something like this. A cartwheel into a split, jumped through the door of the state Bentley and popped out the window on the other side. He slid up under a lorry that was coming up the street, rolled across the hood of one of the Royal Protection Officers' Range Rovers. And I already said he jumped over a hedge, right? He pushed the Archbishop to the side. He did all of that to make sure that he had that opportunity to say something on behalf of the family. But that didn't work out. So instead, when the Queen died, that was his next opportunity, only to be greeted by someone who reminded him that he was a sick old man. So much for effort, right? So, oh, you know what? I forgot we were talking about the protest, wasn't we? How did I get to Andrew? All right, so there's a protest. I forgot about the protest. There's a protest going on in Scotland. Well, there were protests going on today. And, oh, I know. I was saying that Andrew was walking down the Royal Mile. But you know what? I just noticed this man has an orange beard. That he had to have dyed that beard. That cannot be real. I mean, it's like garden gnome orange. You guys see that? His beard is like a bright neon orange. He has an orange not red, but an orange beard. What's that, Maggie? Baron, you are so funny telling Andrew's story, jumping over the state Bentley. He did. You know what? I'm going to see if I can find that footage. It's got to be out there somewhere. He slid under a lorry, jumped over a baby in his pram, pushed the archbishop aside. He did all that stuff just to get in front of that camera. Okay. If you believe in something, you should stand up for it. Scottish independence is coming, says Paul Kirkwood. Scottish independence is coming. But they were not the only ones protesting today. There's also the people up there, well, I'm going to say over there in Wales, don't stand a chance with a dad like him, Prince of Pegging. But anyway, Will's kid said to Charles Bob Gill. Oh, well, I'm not going to read that one. But you can see that indicates that they want change in Wales. They want change. And so the other day, in the spirit of that, I made a video.
While we struggle to heat our homes, we have to pay for your parade. The taxpayer pays 100 million for you, and what for? Needham Renin, not my king. Charles, while we struggle to heat our homes, we have to pay for your parade. The taxpayer pays 100 million for you, and what for? Needham Renin, not my king.
See there? Neiman Marcus, not my king. You see? That's what it means. Neiman Marcus, not my king. And you guys thought my French wasn't impressive. Well, my Welsh is getting there. So, Neiman Marcus, not my king. Mary H says, oh, let me go back over here. Mary H says, Baron, this is more trouble for William. William, when crowned king, will be the first Stuart line since 1701. Diana, Spencer's heritage line of kings, which they love Prince Harry's red hair. Oh, I didn't know that Diana was from the Stuart line. So the Stuarts, they were from Scotland, right? James the First, Second, and Third. That's the Stuart line. And let me see, who was the last Stuart? I think it was, let me see. It was, I can't remember who I think, was it Queen, not Queen Mary. Was it Queen Mary? The sovereign Queen Mary? Was she the last of the Stuarts? I think she was. And then it went over to the House of Hanover, right? That's when those big fat Hanoverians showed up. Woo, those Hanoverians were huge. They were gluttons, weren't they? Them Hanoverians, they would eat you out of house and home. When those Hanoverians showed up, they had to hire some more cooks. They had to start raising more pigs and cows and stuff. Because those Hanoverians, I'm telling you, they had a voracious appetite. A Hanoverian would shut down an old country buffet. You know what I'm saying? Just one Hanoverian can eat about as much food as a whole family next door. So I bet you the price of produce went up when the Hanoverians showed up. The price the hog and cattle's futures were quite secure when the Hanoverians showed up because they were some eaters. Ooh, they could eat. Let me see. Charles, you're a cheating old man. Neiman Marcus. Why you all got me acting so silly like this today? I meant to do a very sober and informative Royal Sussex today, and instead you all got me sitting up here making fun of people. Now I'm just sick of it. Do you hear me? Sick! I'm sick of it. So I mean to walk the straight and narrow for the rest of this Royal Sussex. You all have taken me over to the dark side. I meant to do a very sober and informative and well-researched Royal Sussex. Okay, so let me see. Thousands of people on the streets of Cardiff, Wales as Independence March begins. Shouts of, what we do want independence. When do we want it? Now. That's original, ain't it? What do we want? Independence. When do we want it? Now. I can't help but think I've heard that before somewhere. But anyway, there are more people in the crowded streets of Cardiff desperately in search of independence for Wales. No more of those princes of Wales, and of course the kings of England, queens of England. They don't want it anymore. They just want their independence. They probably are desperate to rejoin the European Union. There was a lot of great things that happened with the European Union, but like so many things, even like with the economy, if there's something that isn't broken, break it, seems to be the policy. Anibine for independence, for all, Anibine, independence for all. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's what it means. Independence for all. And if name Marcus. Okay, so Liz Truss orders King Charles to stay away from the COP27 climate summit. Charles had intended to deliver a speech. You know what? I think that that's a good idea. Stay away, because the last time that they had that summit about carbon emissions and stuff like that, the Queen did not go. And why didn't the Queen go? Because the last time she was in Scotland, people called out the royal household for the fact that the Queen used her state Bentley, a fleet of vehicles. And okay, I don't have a problem with that. That's the Queen. But then she went to a helicopter and flew back over to Balmoral. She was staying at the Holyrood house. Again, when it has to do with the head of state, not a big deal. But then you also had Charles and William traveling, burning fossil fuels. There was no reason why they could not have taken a train, and they don't have to use the private royal train. They could actually just take one of the other trains. The Queen used to take the train all the time. I think the annual trip to Sandringham, the Queen took a regular train. It was only for ceremonial uses that they ever used the royal train, at least in recent memories. And so the idea that you have not one, but two other people functioning as though they're already the head of state was embarrassing, because you're going to some type of energy climate summit. And so billboards went up like this one here, Prince Charles. Helicopter flights, check. Private jets, check. Multiple huge homes, check. Personal train, check. All three of those things were going on before they went to the COP26. And of course, the sign was sponsored by Republic, which of course is a movement for independence of Scotland. Republic, they have a Twitter page and everything. And so it was just embarrassing for the royal family. William and Kate decided to go by train on that occasion. Every place else, William would fly in that 8 million pound helicopter, but just to save face, they took a train to the COP 26. Charles, I think he went the old fashioned way, burning as much fossil fuels as possible, probably igniting a few trees on fire on the way, but whatever. He did what Charles would do. William and Kate, at least they took a train, but they only did it for show. They only did it for that one day. So now is King Charles III and his emotional support, Camilla. King and Queen, and apparently Charles is not invited to go this year. So again, I can't help but think that's a good thing. Now, here's a little something just to throw toward the end of today's Royal Sussex. I saw this on Twitter. Bonnie Tyler said 39 years on, and I still can't explain this. She has no clue what the turnaround bright eyes, and then this kid, is singing with his eyes illuminated. So if you guys have been trying to figure that out and you don't know why, she doesn't know why either. It was just some kind of artistic interpretation that was thrown in there at the last part, and she said she has no clue what it means. But turn around, bright eyes, turn around, bright eyes. You guys remember that part. So, once upon a time I was falling in love. Now I'm only falling apart. Nothing I can say, total eclipse of the heart. I love that song. Once upon a time there was love in my life, but now there's only love in the dark. Nothing I could do, total eclipse of the heart. Anyway, but it's not the 1980s, so I'm just letting you know that in case you were wondering what the Bright Eyes was for, I don't know, and neither does Bonnie Tyler. Remember, there are no leaks in Montecito. So we will hear from the Sussexes when we hear from them. There won't be any information leaked. There's not, well, I hear that they have some new person in charge of the Archwell. Matter of fact, let me see if I can see an announcement for that. I saw it, but I did not save it or anything. So I'm going to check right now and see what's up with Archwell. Okay, let me see. Archwell News. Oh, nope, they haven't posted anything since September the 2nd. The only thing that has happened with the Archwell page is that the Archwell page went black during the mourning process for the Queen. But other than that, the page looks quite normal, and I do not see one new update. Although, oh my gosh. Oh man, I'm not even going to tell you that gossip. I'm just going to leave that there. But yeah, that was the other thing that I had heard, is just that they may have a new person in charge of the foundation. But other than that, I don't know. Okay. Oh, really? Really? Oh, that's very cool. It is a great song. It is a great song, isn't it? Bonnie, what is the name? Bonnie Tyler. I love that song. And it's great for karaoke, right? And it's also amazing when you're on a road trip, right? Always fun for that. So, what could I say? It's a total eclipse of the heart. Anyway, thank you so much, you guys. It has been so much fun today. Even though, oh, that's for someone else. Even though I was hoping to have a serious and a very sober, poignant Royal Sussex, somehow it went off the rails. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the coins or what, but something happened. But you know what I say?
I just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
What do you mean? You don't?
I just don't get it. I don't get any of it. Oh, you like that song too, huh? I'm so glad. I'm so glad. That song, there's so many songs from the 80s that I think the 80s was a great time for music, and it is so underrated. I think because of all of the moves and the shoulder pads and the tight pants, people forget that the 80s had some really great music, but it's hard to hear it beyond the shoulder pads, the tight pants, the rolled up sleeves, or even the dolman sleeves. It's very hard to actually hear the music from the 80s, but I thought they had some fantastic music. And whenever I hear that music, I always feel young. It's just something about the 80s that makes me feel so young. Oh, you love the 80s too, or Restrepo? I'm so glad to hear that. Lydia, what's up, Lydia? Um, have you been multitasking? Where have you been? Okay, I see up here. Just getting on, baby shower today, poor internet. Oh, okay. Well, we're glad you're here now. Claire Kane, how are you? You guys, Claire has a channel, and I hope you guys have gone over to like and share and to subscribe. That's always a good thing. Baron, today I was pretty down seeing how Charles III hates his own son and Meghan so much. But let's see, Jonesy's birthday today. Hearing Baron and the Squatties pick me up. Thank you, Baron and fellow Squatties. Joan Garcia, we are always here for you. You know that. That's one thing we have in the Sussex squad is that we are always here for each other. Thank you so much for your comment. Mercedes Todd said, as far as hearing needing his family, Harry needing his family, Harry can live a good, happy life without them. He doesn't need them when people are that, talk to you to get away from them. Doesn't matter if they're family. Yeah, when people talk to you like that, it doesn't matter who they are. You just need to go your own way. And as for, they had that headline, how Harry has lost so much time with the Queen. I don't want to lay anything heavy on people who just don't know better, but I don't think the Queen spent as much time with family as people suspect. I know that the press loved this idea that the Queen had the kids, the great grandkids, or the kids running around her all the time. But the truth is, they all live in those big palatial homes to get away from each other. Those homes are there to put a space between each of the royal households. That's what they're there for. They are for the family members and their staff, not to bring them together, but to keep them apart. That's why Sandringham was always such an important time for them. And of course, Balmoral, because it was one of the few times when everybody got together. Other than that, it only seems like a wedding or a funeral. So, but in the real world, people move away from family all the time. If you want citizenship in another country, sometimes you can't just go back and visit for the weekend. You have to stay for 3 years before you get your passport. You have to work and stay there for 3 years. Now, that's a sacrifice that a lot of poor working class people make. Surely a prince of the realm with a personal financial wealth, as well as the fact that he has been working very hard since he left that family, before, of course, but since he left that family. So if he wasn't able to spend a lot of time with the Queen or anybody else for that matter, that puts him right in league with most people who move away from their country of birth and become an expat in a community someplace far away. It's just the way it is. Sheila McKay, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. All right. Once upon a time, there was light in my life. Now there's only love in the dark. Nothing I can do. Total eclipse of the heart. I love that song. I'm going to have to blast that later. I'm just going to turn the volume all the way up, and I'm going to run around here like they're filming a movie or something. I'm going to run and jump just like in that movie Splash Dance. Oh, you wait and see, you guys. I am going to run around here and dance like they're filming Splash Dance. What a feeling. I'm even going to throw water all over myself. It's believing. First, there was nothing but a slow flowing dream. In a flash, it took hold of my soul. I'm going to run around here jumping. I'm going to have on my, what do you call it? Those leg warmers. Oh, you guys wait and see. I am going to run around here, an over-caffeinated, chubby baby boomer dancing just like in the movie Flashdance. You know what? I'm going to film it too. I am going to film it. It's believing. I'm going to have it all my life. Make it happen. Oh, man. Well, if I do that, Lydia, who would ever know that I had sprained or injured something? I mean, who's going to call for help? Oh, man. So, let me see. Let me see. If you're taking requests, how about Hold Out for a Hero? Hold Out for a Hero. Oh, wait a minute. What is that from? Hold Out for a Hero. I'm looking for a hero. I can't. Oh, man. I barely know that song. I think I know which one you're talking about. Hold Out for a Hero. Oh, man. Who sings that? Oh, man. I'm losing my street creds right now. I can't remember who sings that. Hold Out for a Hero. Oh, man. I can't remember. Let's give them something to talk about. A little mystery to figure out. Let's give them something to talk about. How about love? I feel so foolish, that I never noticed, you get so nervous, could you be falling for me? It took the rumors to make me wonder. Now I'm convinced I'm going under. Think about you every day. Dream about you every night. I'm hoping that you feel the same way. Now that you know it. I love that song. Y'all, don't get me started. Don't give me something for them to talk about. I love that song. That was like Bonnie Raitt's best song, is Something to Talk About. In the other song, I'm like, what is she singing? But if she's singing Something to Talk About, I'm all over it like a cheap suit. Yes, Bonnie Raitt. Okay, you guys. Yes, Bonnie Raitt. Bonnie Raitt. Oh, yeah, right. When I do my splash dance, leg warmers, bodysuit, leotard. Got to wear that leotard. And what else? Oh, and the headband. Headband, Trina Hodges. I have to wear my bodysuit, leg warmers, headband, and those little what is those armbands? The armbands those made out of terry cloth, right? Just like the head. Yeah, so my terry cloth headband, terry cloth armband, and of course my very form-fitting bodysuit and my leg warmers. And I am going to run back and forth through this house. I am going to own that song, Splash Dance. And the best part of the song is going to be when I pull that thing and that water splash all over me. Oh man, there hasn't been a sight like that ever since they launched the what is it, the HMS QE2. You haven't seen anything move like that since they launched the QE2. I am giving you guys quite a visual right now, but trust me, you can remove this from your mind's eye. You just need something to distract you. Otherwise, the idea of this is going to be burned into your psyches forever. Okay, so that was our trip down memory lane. Feel the happiness, I feel the pain. Thought it was over, here I go again. Do, do, do. Okay, I'm definitely not going to sing that song. But I can do the high note. See, I did the high note. Okay. No, you don't. You don't want to see me in my bodysuit, leg warmers, and terry cloth headbands and armbands. Oh man. Could you imagine if I did that and injured something and then they had to wheel me into the emergency room? Could you imagine that? What is he dressed up for? I thought Halloween was at the end of the month. That's what I should do for Halloween. I should go and splash dance for Halloween. Oh my God, wouldn't it be funny if I went splash dance for Halloween? No, I was doing a whistle note. That wasn't a harmonica. See? Okay, maybe it was the harmonica. But yeah, I'm gonna go a splash dance for Halloween. I think Harry may have had quality time with the Queen through FaceTime. Yes, that is a great point, Vampire Knights. That is a great point. They did a lot of FaceTime. I know they did a lot of FaceTime. He said so on that talk show. Yep. Very good observation. Thank you for reminding us about that. Okay. I know it's just the polar opposite of feeling down and now you're feeling good. I'm so glad to know that. That gives me joy. Let me see. But you know what? I love Halloween, and since the pandemic, this is going to be like the best Halloween for a long time. Because if you remember, a lot of people were still hesitant to go out, but now I don't know. I love going out for Halloween. It is a lot of fun. I like seeing people in their costumes. I love the costumes. And of course, it gives you a chance if you ever wanted to pretend or make believe. I know some people are like, oh, it's a pagan ritual holiday. It's fun. There were no Ninja Turtles back in pagan times, right? There were no Avengers back in pagan times. So, well, maybe Thor. I think Thor may be a pagan god. But yeah, it's just fun. Okay. Oh, you guys, I am like so addicted to those pot stickers that I find myself just constantly thinking, Do I really want another pot sticker? Yeah. It's like no matter what you do, they are just amazing. But I'm going to find something else for lunch today. Something. Oh, Thor's a Norse god? Okay. So the Norse gods, they're not like the pagan gods. Thank you for that information. Let me see. I wonder if they give out in my oh, you know what? They probably have like a community center. I'm pretty sure that like they'll probably do something at a community center, or more likely that the neighbors and stuff, they probably have a party with all the neighbors. I'm pretty sure that they'll have a party like that. That seemed like the more likely thing, is that there'll be some type of party where they would have the various celebrity and executive entertainment people, friends and stuff get together. But I would probably go over to Auntie Oprah's house. I would go to Oprah's house and see, and I would take a bag big enough for a car. Oh man. If I could, I would go to Oprah's house and I would have like a bag big enough to put a car in. Either that, or when I like appear at Oprah's front door, you would hear something go beep, beep, beep. That would be like one of those flatbed trucks rolling up behind me, so that I could just, I don't know, put the car on a flatbed and take it home like that. Oh man, what is Halloween like at Oprah's house? Yeah, I would expect something nice if I went to Oprah's house. I'd be like, "That's fun, Oprah, but what am I really getting for my efforts?" Oh man. But yeah, that is something to think about, but I'm sure they're gonna find something fun, and they may even travel someplace. They may not necessarily stay home, but I'm sure they're gonna do something fun. They'll make something fun for the family. That is for certain.
You got time for that?
I'll make time for it. Okay, what else am I missing here? Where did Katie is only oh, oh yeah, I did see that. Bridget, you say let me see. Scobie posted a picture of the future monarchy 11 minutes ago. Kate Middleton is actually touching William. Yuck. Ugh. They're trying, aren't they? They're trying. Let me see. I'm working on my Halloween display and costume now. I handmade everything. I get about 200 kids every year. Even during the pandemic, everyone gets a big laugh out of it. We all need to laugh more. Yes, yes, we need to have community. Community is very, very important. It is always important to have community. I so agree with that. Okay. All right. So let's do a ginger binge. Where are we here? And of course, always we celebrate the two amazing moms that have changed the world in their own way. Okay, the two amazing moms that have changed the world with their children. And then oh man. Let me go to my see if I had anything here. Okay, now this one right here says UK female MP had to speak up for Meghan against racism. The royal family is yet to condemn racism. against Meghan and her children. William can shut his mouth about racial matters because he doesn't care. So, of course, that's in response to that tweet that William had yesterday about bullying. And anyway, this is from 2019, October 30th, 2019.
You got an unexpected phone call this morning.
Yes, I did here in Westminster. I got a phone call. It was Buckingham Palace asking me was I available to speak to the Duchess of Sussex. She was calling to thank myself and other women MPs for standing with her, sending the open letter to say we as women in public office absolutely understand what she's going through, although in very different public roles. We stand with her in solidarity to say that we shouldn't be tearing down women in public life through the press or otherwise. And so, yeah, she was pleased to have seen that letter.
And what did you say to her?
As a fairly new mum myself, the challenges of both being in the public eye, managing childcare, managing public responsibilities cannot all be a challenge. So we did discuss that, but yeah, we were quite happy to stand with her and recognising that what she's going through has on occasion had xenophobic undertones. We're not happy about that at all. We stand with her in challenging that, and we will look to do everything we can at this end. If some of our national press do not have a healthier, shall we say, interests in her life.
And you think there are colonial racist undertones to it?
I do. I've been really concerned about some of the narratives, some of the articles that have been incredibly sexist, but also that she is not from this country, she's from elsewhere, and that we're not happy about that. I'm afraid that's unacceptable in this day and age. She's here, she's married our prince, they've got a young son. We really want to welcome her to our society, and I'm afraid not all of the articles in our national press really reflect that, and it's time that stops.
Okay, so I got a phone call. Okay, Meghan Markle called Holly Lynch. Okay, so I guess that's an MP, Holly Lynch, this morning to say thank you. It comes after the Halifax MP sent a cross-party letter of solidarity from the female MPs. Again, that was from 2019. And of course, it had to do with the way that Meghan was being bullied and harassed by the British media with implied consent, with some tepid implied consent of one of the royal households, maybe both of those royal households or something. I don't know. But that was, I knew I had something in my, what do you call it here that I was saving that I thought I might share with you guys at another time. But anyway.
You got an unexpected phone call.
Didn't mean to do that. So that is something that is trending on Twitter. Let me see. What is that? Did you see the photo released by Charles with him and Kate and William in their period of... No, there's an official photo. I did not see that. Oh, that's interesting. Nope, I did not see that. But there was so much going on. Is there any surprise that there is a lot of stuff that was missed? I'm going to see if I can see it now. When I, oh, there it is. Clarence House. They still have a Clarence House page? It doesn't look like they updated their page yet. Well, it just says Clarence House. I wonder if they're doing that just to keep it simple for now. No, I don't think so, because the last thing that was dated there. Okay, there's the royal family page. I don't see a Twitter page for them. I'm just assuming it would be on the... Well, you know what? There's the royal family page. Oh, I see it. I see the photo now. I do. There's Camilla, Charles, William, and Kate taken at Buckingham Palace on the 18th of September. And of course, they're all smiling because they just miss Betty that much. They have that, oh, I can't believe she's gone. Hey, what's my new titles look on their face. Yeah, They miss her so much, they are all smiling. If everybody mourned like them, that's all I'm going to say. If everybody mourned like them, what kind of world would this be? So yeah, that must have been that day that they had the that luncheon, that reception. Okay. Well, thank you for telling me about that. I'm gonna save it in case I need it for something. Okay, let me see. Royal Sussex is a friendly channel. If you are not a Sussex friendly, you are in the wrong chat. You tell them, Mercedes Todd, this is a Sussex friendly channel. And as for you trolls trying to sneak in negative stuff, you're in the wrong place for it, because we ain't into all of that. It ain't nothing you can tell us we ain't heard before again and again. Our faves are our faves, and that's all to it. All right, you guys, I am going to Ginger Avenger, and then I am going to go and have lunch and probably another delicious cup of coffee. But yeah, thank you so much, you guys, and I will be back tomorrow, of course. Okay, I'm scared, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So nobody else is mourning. If that's the future of the royal family, then good luck to them. Oh, Black Queen, that statement is dripping with sarcasm, but yes, good luck to them. We wish them the best of luck. Oh man. Okay, so cue Ginger Avenger. And what is my homework? Afro Annie. Yes, that is my homework, Afro Annie. Other than that,
I just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
I just don't get it. I don't get any of it. Okay, that was your last I just don't get it for today. You probably have already guessed you're going to be seeing more of I just don't get it in the coming days, until I grow tired of it. Let me see. I got a new toy. I just don't get it. I don't get any of it. I just don't. Okay, where's Ginger Avenger? Where is Ginge? Okay, cue Ginger. right, you guys. What a fun day. I had a really good time today. I did. You guys, with your comments, as always, have been amazing. So I thank you for that. It is very important to all of our platforms, all of the content creators, your input, your likes, shares, and such. Um, and of course, subscriptions is what makes all of this possible. And of course, the moderators with their ability to filter out a lot of the riffraff. As you know, there's some people who try to take their show on the road and they'll go from one platform to the next trying to wreak havoc, only for them to have their attempts thwarted by the very talented and ever present moderators. So nice try, but that's what the moderators are for. So it is to keep this a safe space. Whenever and wherever they wean their ugly, twisted faces, or wherever their big lumpy heads bulge into the scenery, or wherever they try to grin their way into the conversation, that is why that is why we have moderators. And just in case they try to Megan, she's a Hollywood actress, and I guess she's used to having her way, and she probably she had cameras in her pocket, a camera in Archie's juice box. So wherever the challenge may be, the moderators will rise to the occasion and suppress these rebellious royal reporters and such. So they don't stand a chance. That's what I'm saying, is they don't stand a chance. Okay, so okay. All right, I am done. Let me see. Thanks, Baron, for the PC humor today. Oh, you're welcome. You are quite welcome. I am glad that we could have all been here for each other. That is very, very important. Okay, especially with that month that we had. Very important, because I tell you guys, it wasn't easy getting through September. It started off full of joy and laughter and smiles, and all I wanted to talk about was Harry and Meghan. I promise that was all I wanted. However, if there was one good thing to come out of it, is that there are so many more supporters that have been brought over to the Sussex friendly channels. I think there's so many new people that were looking for some place, as the one new squatty told me. I was looking for a place to push back, a place where there was actually somebody giving some kind of pushback to the narrative, and somehow they ended up on Royal Sussex. So all I can say is, please make sure you support all of the Sussex friendly channels, or even consider starting a channel of your own. And that would definitely help the cause. But for the sake of anyone who has ever been bullied, or, if you have seen someone being bullied and you wish that you could have done more, well, here's your opportunity. You can continue to support these platforms. You might create one of your own. You can share these platforms wherever you are on social media. You can try to keep yourself out of Facebook jail, but you can respond with truth wherever people are trying to make up stuff. I know sometimes I am very, very proud that on the odd occasion that I would look on, let's say, something against the Sussexes on the Facebook, I will find a familiar name. I will find a familiar name from Royal Sussex or from one of the other channels. I will see that person giving them the what for. You hear me? I mean, setting the record straight, telling them off or whatever. And I'm just like, there you go. That's how it's done. So I love when I see that. That is like the best thing that I see when I'm away from YouTube and I'm on the Facebook, is that on occasion I see that there's actual pushback from some of the squatties that I recognize, and I'm always glad for that. So I'm sorry I don't have your unyielding good taste. I may end up in Facebook jail. Oh man, let me see. Oh yeah, those books never do much, do they? All right, guys, thank you. Love you. See you tomorrow. And thank you all for watching Royal Sussex in broadcast.